Hi, I'm Dino Tripodis, and the problem is your balls ain't getting close enough to the Pauline. If you don't know what that means, stay with us, because Chris and Dante Lovell, the Bocce Brothers, are back on Whiskey Business. Welcome to Whiskey Business, the podcast not so much about whiskey as it is one with whiskey. Some reflections as we start this particular episode, gentlemen. As I continue to get older, and I've made quite a few reflections here lately on the podcast about getting older. In respects to sports, I'm realizing that there are limited amounts of activities that I can be proficient at or be good at. I stopped playing basketball decades ago when I could no longer go to my left. That's just a thing. Football.
That was the only reason why I stopped.
That was the only direction
actually, I had a great fucking three-pointer.
I remember you
shot.
saying that.
Yeah, from the side, that was just amazing. But yeah,
I'm gonna test you on that someday.
I digress.
Italian Larry Bird.
Football, never got the permission slip signed in high school, so I could never play football. And recently, the Columbus Italian Club had a golf outing. I am not a golfer. I've never taken to the game, and I have no business playing the game.
It's called a duffer, right?
It was a scramble. It was a scramble, or is that what you call me as a duffer? That has okay, then I'm a duffer. If my game were to be described in a movie, it would be Driving Miss Daisy, because that's the only way I can move the ball off the tee is if somebody else drives it off the tee and gets it down there. I suck at golf. I have no business.
You walk that slow, too.
No business playing that game. The only sport left where I can have some sense of pride and occasionally ownership and every once in a while an amazing shot is bocce. The summer league at the Columbus Italian Club, bocce is it. And I'm not proficient at bocce, but it's the one sport, and we can't call it a sport,
we sure
right?
Can, right?
We sure can.
Where I can actually feel included.
All right.
And talk about that was a great shot, or I'm having an off day, but knowing that some particular Monday I might have a great day. The other ones, it ain't happening. I'll never be a golfer, and I'll never play any other sports again. Maybe pickleball. Okay, I haven't tried pickleball yet. Maybe there's a chance, but bocce is what I'm investing all my athletic prowess in.
all of it.
all of it. And which brings us to our guests tonight. They're back. Chris and Dante Lovell, the Bocce Brothers.
Thank you.
I'm back.
Glad to be back.
It's been nice to have you back. Thank you for this. This is a lovely bottle of limoncello. Dante, give me a little history on this. Where did this come from?
So we made that at the Columbus Italian Club, and there was a member who joined about a year ago. He was visiting from Italy, literally just temporarily in America. Alex, and I'm blanking on his last name right now. Alex, I'm sorry.
It's really Italian, I bet.
It's super Italian.
A lot of L's.
Alejandro. Actually, his real name's Alejandro, now that we're talking about it. And he invited me to the Italian Club one night. He's like, I'm making limoncello. Had no idea that, and really he made it. I just bottled it. I showed up at the end. Got to take a couple bottles.
It's a manufacturing process.
And it's aged a little bit?
Yeah, it's aged. It's almost a year old now. We're creeping up on a year old, and so I didn't. People say like limoncello could be cloudy. That's a little more on the cloudy side because that's how we made it. We had the decision to make it cloudy, make it more clear. I like the cloudiness.
Potent?
Oh, it's
right.
potent.
Well, I only kept it out long enough to display it and say thank you. Yep. I'm going to ask someone to put that in the freezer.
Definitely.
Yeah, and keep it cold as we get to a little bit of business first and then a discussion with you guys. Our guest bottle tonight comes courtesy of our buddy Chip Cassell, who actually won this at his, what was it, 40th? 40th class reunion.
Yeah, I love that.
This is a Sagamore Spirit. This is lovely. Have you guys sipped this yet?
Yeah,
this is
very
a
good.
blended rye. This is two ryes. I've had this before, but not on the podcast. This is a high rye and a low rye blended together. It's not going to knock you out proof wise. It's only 83%
That's good for us little
83
dudes.
proof. Yeah.
It's right in our wheelhouse.
Both ryes are aged between 4 and 6 years in a charred American oak barrels, and it's a great Chip. Thank you, man. This is a great little rye.
LHS class of '83.
As ryes finally, what I said 7 years ago.
I've been calling it for a while.
That ryes would rise and become more popular, and rye whiskey seems to be becoming very popular.
What do we know about it? Where's it from?
Don't know.
Sagamore?
Don't know where it's from. I just know that it's a blended
Baltimore,
whiskeys.
Maryland.
Baltimore, Maryland. All right.
Okay.
Well,
Ever been?
Me?
I have.
I did stand up in Baltimore years ago.
Any good story come out of that?
Yeah, out of Baltimore? Yeah. One of the comics I was working with was smoking crack at the time.
I'm sure he was lively.
And that's when crack was new.
He's experimenting.
And,
It was more natural back then.
Yeah, it was new.
Experimental.
And he wanted to go into downtown Baltimore and score some crack, and I would not let him go by himself.
Yeah.
Because I thought,
What a nice friend you are.
well, no, because I didn't want him to get killed.
Yeah.
You know, because we had a show to do.
You couldn't fill the time.
I was only featured at the time. I didn't have a headline set.
Oh, it was 10 minutes.
So that's my memory of Baltimore.
I'm glad I asked. I am really glad I
You
asked.
ask me a question, you're gonna get an honest answer.
Did you score?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, I'll say that on the
He
podcast.
did.
All right, good stuff.
Unfortunately, he did. But he's that particular person is in much better shape now. So that was a long time ago. That was like 1989, maybe. So
Simpler
Just
times.
starting out back then.
yeah, it was way back.
Man
Way
was
back.
Jay
when.
Leno.
No.
You got a good Jay Leno impression? I feel like a lot of people impersonate.
Not so much. Not so much about the Jay Leno. Not so much.
If I get into a rhythm, my Seinfeld's better than my Jay Leno. Yeah.
We'll see if we get there tonight.
Yeah.
What's the deal with bocce? You have a ball, you throw it at another ball. It's ridiculous.
I could do a good Kramer entering through a door.
Yeah. Good for you.
That'll be on the bonus footage. Yeah.
For
the Patreons.
You guys were on about a year ago, and we talked about the Bocce Brothers, the entity that is the Bocce Brothers, and it is you two. I mean, basically, but it's also become this kind of family, this entity. There's you guys have a team that travels and goes all around the country now, not just Ohio.
Yeah.
I mean, one of you did something that. Of note, I can't remember exactly what it was. There, I'm glad
I brought it. I did forget about this until right now. So this is good.
What is that?
And this just came off, so it shows you the quality. But this is a bronze medal of the United States Bocce Federation. So there's a United States Federation that kind of oversees bocce, to a certain portion of the United States, and there's the nationals, and we placed bronze. So out of about 50 teams, I believe it was. This was for the four-person, I should say. And last year, I also placed bronze. So now I have 2 bronze medals for United States.
Two bronze,
You don't have one?
He hasn't participated yet.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was in Chicago.
So this one was in Chicago this past year. This was in June. So what's cool about the United States Bocce Federation Nationals, and unfortunately this one didn't have them, but they're qualifiers. So if you place first place in the, there's tournaments every single day. So 7 days of tournaments. One of them is a qualifier where if you place first gold, you get to represent the United States at the Worlds of Bocce, which is basically like the Olympics for the bocce.
Which we discussed last time when you guys
now
were
it's
here.
not in the Olympics right now, but there is a world, like an entity that's called the Worlds of Bocce, hosted every year where countries come together to play.
Let me update that particular topic there for just 1 second. We talked about that last time you guys were here about bocce becoming part of the Olympics. Are we any closer?
So it is, I believe, in 2028 going to be submitted, or already is submitted, with a lot of the credit going to the American Bocce Company for pushing this as a spectator sport. So you won't get like an official medal, on the medal count, but it will be like at the Olympics being played in like shown. Or I shouldn't say it's not official yet, but they're pushing for that.
I mean, again, and this is I love to watch curling, but if curling can be an Olympic sport,
trampoline,
then bocce.
I agree.
I think a demonstration sport is what the Olympic Committee calls it, a demonstration sport.
Yeah,
because for a while the X Games were like demonstration or exhibition sports or whatever, where they were like test run.
Yeah.
In 2028, you guys will be how old? I'm sorry, I'm asking you to do math. All right, that's me. I have the tough questions.
39.
I ask all the tough questions.
Carry the one.
I ask the tough ones.
I'll be in my Larry Bird year, 33.
33.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I have psychological issues older than you.
And you don't hit your prime in bocce until about 50. So.
Yeah,
right?
That's the one great thing about bocce. You talked about how it's your only sport left. Well, you have a good 30 years left of bocce that you could play.
I mean, you can keep going.
Yeah,
That's it.
absolutely.
Well, that's great. The bronze is great. I hope you get a medal too.
Hopefully soon.
Which will be part of my conversation a little bit later in respect to the brothers. But let's talk here. Recently, I almost had a moment of pride because this is the first year that I was on a team that actually got into the playoffs.
There you go.
All right,
Playoffs of what?
That's exciting.
The playoffs of
The
what?
playoffs at the Columbus Italian Club for bocce.
The Premier League. of
Yeah,
Columbus.
it's the first
Love
time
that.
I ever got past a Monday and had to play on a Wednesday. And the team that
there's
we
a rain
lost
out,
to,
so you got to play on the next day too.
Well, the Wednesday he's talking about is the meeting night, so there's more eyes on you.
more eyes on you. Yeah, it's the
and
real
there's
playoffs. That was
bets.
like the Monday is like it's playoffs, but play in to get into the play. But we got in.
Yeah.
We got in. And I think aside from Johnny DeAndrea, I was the youngest guy on my team. Because I had 92-year-old Al Yan.
Talk about Al. You've talked about him.
Al is great.
He's one of the-
Al was just throwing darts all season long. He was definitely the star player
92.
on our team. But my point is, in that playoff game, we played Dante's team, and we were actually ahead at one point. And it was looking like could have been like
It was 1-0. It was
major upset. Could have been major upset. A major upset. But then they got their shit together and we fell apart and as expected.
Yeah.
But just for a moment.
Couldn't handle the pressure.
For a moment, you're right. I probably couldn't. Handle the pressure.
you'll-
I'm not a pressure bocce player.
You'll get people that play regular season, they play lights out. And then meeting night comes, people are
seen it.
around the courts and it's they don't know what to do.
Different story.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sports, I can handle the pressure of performing, and anything, but sports is like, I don't know, fall apart.
Different kind.
Because it's just not in my wheelhouse. But it was still an enjoyable season. I didn't play last year, so I'm glad I played this year. I'll play next summer. I've never played fall bocce. What's fall bocce like? Is that a little more relaxed?
Yes.
Is that a little more
Competitive still there. A little more relaxed.
So fall bocce, summer bocce, we have an auction draft, right? Where you have captains that go up, they have a fake amount of money, and they're able to bid on players. So
Right. So
captains have control over who they're picking. Fall, we pick, the best 20-ish people that we think are in the club, and we do a random draw. So it's really based on luck on who's going to be on your team.
And then you guys love bocce so much that now you've taken the game inside to the club and have thrown down some sort of piping on the uneven floor.
3-inch PVC pipe.
Yeah, PVC pipe on an uneven floor that by now you probably know exactly
It's
which
like a
way
putting
it's
green.
A little
Yeah.
left to
Gotta
right.
read it.
A little bit, yeah.
If you're heading north. If you're rolling north, it's left
So
to
you
right.
have
How many
indoor
guys
court
you
now.
get for that? How many guys do you get for that?
So the first year, I believe we got around 50 in the
Shit.
50s, and then it dropped the second. And that was the COVID. It was, I think people were like yearning to get out. So
So we were talking, and Dante's like, why don't we start an indoor league? And we looked at the carpet, and of course, when you try and come up
carpet, there's your first right there.
Right.
We looked at the carpet.
Carpet.
with, we're like, this could be rolled
it's
on.
about, I measured. I moved every table out the way. It was 45 feet long, and there's some courts that are 50 feet long. I was like, we could easily make this work, And I did a test run from Lowe's, and then I went back and got the rest of the PVC pipe, and the rest is history now.
Yeah.
It keeps us entertained in the winter.
I'm not trying to blow smoke up your ass when I say this because I told you this on the front porch earlier this evening too. As a longtime member of the Columbus Italian Club, and Also, I want to thank Dave DeRoberts, who's also here tonight, for bringing our official pizza of Whiskey Business, Gattos. Gotta get a Gattos.
Gotta get a
pizza. Go get a Gattos.
Gotta get a Gattos.
Shout out the number there, David.
263-3737.
And it's on Indianola.
That's correct. 30.
Yeah.
28, 30. What is it?
I asked the tough questions
Sorry,
on Whiskey
34, I know
Business.
where it's at 'cause I just go there.
Google it.
Google it. Yeah.
One building north of Oakland Park on Indianola.
Yeah, it's great.
What about this one?
Dine in or carry out.
Those homemade sausages, right? Oh,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah, good stuff.
They have a great sub. Your sub is awesome.
The new addition, the sausage slider.
We need to have a Whiskey Business lunch meeting.
Everyone is breathing so heavy in here now after that.
I gotta get me a slider. Yeah, a slider sausage.
But Dero's a longtime member, and we've discussed this. You guys have injected a lot of positivity and a lot of youth and a lot of promise into keeping the Columbus Italian Club thriving and growing. So
We appreciate
thank
that.
you.
Well,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we said this earlier. We had a board meeting today, but it's a lot of thanks to members like you who are able to take you did so much. You've done so much already for the club, and I'm sure you're sick and tired of it. So it's like, okay, you're comfortable passing it on to a younger generation. Where a lot of clubs where we've seen and we've been in, we've grown up in, are nowhere near like that, or they're a little more stubborn.
No, I took it when I was first asked to be sergeant at arms, and I was actually cornered.
Yeah,
Cornered.
you did the same thing to me. You called me out in
Yeah,
front of
yeah.
everyone.
Oh, I was cornered by Ronnie Roberts and Jimmy Sanfilippo, and I was like 3 years into my membership, and like I go like, what the fuck did I do wrong? We want to talk to you out.
yeah.
Want to talk to you out in the vestibule.
Shake you down.
Like what? And then we want you to run for sergeant at arms. I go, oh, I don't know if no, you're running for sergeant at arms. And then I took it very seriously. Dave Nebergall helped me paint the place. The place, I said, these tables, they had no tablecloths on them. We started putting up pictures. Deli helped me put the lights on the bar. One thing after another, and all of a sudden we upped it up a little bit. You guys have music piped in now, but I had a record player out there with speakers.
The one you cranked.
Yeah, I actually had an old record player with speakers to put music on, and I was playing old Italian music out there. You guys have taken it up a level. Now you got streaming shit piped out.
Yeah.
and
Still
so
playing
forth.
old Italian music though.
Yeah,
It's still
yeah.
playing.
Music's still there. It's
But yeah, that was a job I took very seriously, and the bar wasn't making any money, and I made sure that the bar started making money because people were like, I got to the point where people actually got like, I took a beer but I haven't paid for it yet. I go, it's okay, you're good. Okay, we got you. And the bar started to show a profit. Then I was vice president, and I was president. And I love that club.
Yeah.
I love that club. So
We
when
do
I
too.
see you guys taking that attitude and moving it forward and doing and growing and improving it, that makes me happy. I know that there's a lot of old school guys.
Thank you.
that
We
don't like
appreciate that.
change, But
He said that to me
change
without you
is
guys here
good.
before
That's
tonight, so
cheers.
that's true. All right.
Yeah.
Change is
Cheers.
good. Change is good. Change
Bocce
is good,
Brothers.
right, Zero?
To the
Change
Bocce
is good.
Brothers.
Yeah. So
You got to keep our heritage alive. Traditions.
That's how the Columbus Italian Club was formed, because the old guys wouldn't let them in to their clubs. So that's why the CIC.
is that how it happened?
Yep.
Absolutely. That's a fact.
That's a fact. How long you been a member?
I've been a member since the third month the club started.
Wow.
1978.
Wow.
So
Wow.
How old are you?
a couple years older than you.
He's a youngster.
I think you are just a couple years older. Than me.
Yeah,
Think
youngster.
about it. So you joined the club like you were like 13.
He was 5 when he started.
Listen, that was,
Young Henry
I was
Hill.
like 21,
Okay.
and everybody
Yeah.
else was like 31.
Yeah, I was in my 30s. Oh my God, I was in my 30s when I joined the club. Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
am I
that's
going,
this
am I
guy.
Going, am I going on 30?
I was 21
can't
when
be.
I joined.
I can't be.
Whoa.
I got a lot of shit.
30 years? Jesus.
You got to get a little plaque on the wall.
No. We talked about.
We should be doing it. Yeah.
Which one's the older brother?
That's rude.
All right, before we move on, Hansberry, do a little bit of business, if you will, please, to let people know what they're watching and where they can continue to watch and so forth and so on.
Gotta get a Gattos.
Got to get a
20
Gattos.
minutes in, that's
I
good.
know, it's okay. It's
It's-
okay. We
it's-
need to hook them in there.
We're playing with the format, John.
We can.
There's no rules in
I thought you
podcasting.
did that when I was off on my way to the refrigerator.
Right now they're going. We're having such a good time. Let them do their business. I think
Whiskey
I'm gonna put
Business is the
in middle.
podcast podcast not so much about whiskey as it is one with whiskey
Yes, it
and
is.
with pizza.
Yeah, now thanks to Gatto's.
Gotta
Gotta
get
get
a
the
Gatto's.
Gatto's.
Gotta get a Gatto's.
It's somewhere. We don't know quite where it is, but it's somewhere. Okay. Okay.
Google it.
Whiskeybusinesspod.com, our landing page, videos, archived episodes, writings, photographs, all the fun stuff there. Thanks to our podcasting parents, our fathers,
Our evergreen.
Evergreen Podcast.
Evergreen Podcast.
.com. Thank you for. Do you think that they listened to us once and then just forgot and we're like, oh, you know what I mean?
No,
Or
I
else,
get every once in a while.
Yeah.
I actually get updates on how we're doing.
Okay.
And we've
all right. Okay. Good.
yeah we've
I just-
actually where we finished in 2022
Right.
as far as listeners
Numbers
and
and
numbers
yep.
is where we're at. In July.
Sweet. So,
So
we're right.
better.
So
All right.
we're
I
gonna-
was just worried that
yeah.
they
No, they got bigger podcasts. They got bigger people. They
yeah,
got
sorry.
they got Carol Costello, and they got a lot of true crime podcasts that
We're part of the aggregate. It's
And you guys
okay.
got the Bocce Bros. So
Here we are.
which could turn into true crime.
Wow, is that a threat?
That could turn into true crime. The
Couple-
Bocce brother murders.
A couple missed Paulino throws. One to the
cue the Law and
dome.
Order music.
They just see a guy stretched out on the bocce ball court with a ball stuck in his mouth.
Ball
don't know
rolling into
nothing.
his puddle of blood.
Colombo something.
I didn't
How did
see
he-
nothing.
Oh, that's right. You shoved the Pauline down his throat, and they don't know how he died. And they go, after the autopsy, we found this.
The Bocce Brothers. Whiskey Business is also on your favorite podcasting app. Whichever one you're listening to, thank you for doing that. Subscribe, rate, review if you're on iTunes, because whenever you guys do that, other people find us easier.
Right.
So thank you for doing that. YouTube, Whiskey Business with Dino Tripodis. Thanks, John Whitney, our editor there. There's a little bell button right here. I forget. Click that bell button. And then once you do that, you'll get a notification every time we post something new. Smash that subscribe button. Smash.
And I want to say thank you to John Whitney, especially because he joined us when we had the idea about actually, doing a video component to this 4-5 years ago.
Sure.
And
I just
now,
wanted free whiskey.
hey, it worked out because right
Don't
now,
we all?
according to everything that they're saying in the podcast world,
YouTube's
the podcast
big.
movement, that podcasts are now an audio and video component. That's how people consume them.
That's
so
right.
we were ahead of the curve as far as putting ourselves on
There you
YouTube
go.
and so forth and
it's-
so on.
And to that point, if you're listening on your favorite podcasting app, I encourage you to also watch it because what I do, I edit a good 5, 10, 20 minutes out of the podcast.
20? You had 20 minutes?
Well, it depends on how drunk and stupid we get.
How drunk and stupid.
I get it. Yeah.
No one forgets the Halloween episode.
No. Oh, yeah, I do. But regardless, the video, there's unedited stuff. There's fun videos that you make.
I only cut things out if there's podcast remorse.
Yeah.
Oh,
we do
right.
have podcast
Podcast remorse.
Oh, we've had that.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
I remember one episode we did recently. We were pretty tuned up, but the first 20 minutes was relationship advice to our
Oh,
friend.
God.
We were like, we won't even. It's recording, but we won't post it.
I've had to edit a lot.
I don't even like it. Those contradiction in terms.
Yeah.
Relationship advice.
Yeah.
We're all single here, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
None of us are single.
Single guys.
Here's my
there you
relationship advice: don't give in. Yeah.
It's a trap.
Thank you for listening.
Yes.
Grassroots efforts.
Thank you. Yeah, let me get back to. I talked about the fact that you guys are, kind of nationwide now and doing your thing and so forth and so on. I want to talk about the competitiveness between the two of you. Like, you've got your bronze medal. You have not had a chance to medal yet. What is the age difference between you two? How many years?
6 years.
6 years. 6
Yeah.
years. Is there competitive? You guys played each other in the finals.
Yeah.
at
First
the-
time we met in the finals.
in the summer. And who won?
I
know who won,
yeah,
but
I
Dante.
ended up taking it. My team ended up taking it, what was cool is he was the number 1 seed the whole year. I was the number 2 seed the whole year. We kept flip flopping, so we ended up making opposite sides of the playoff bracket and ended up putting people in the seats for the finals.
Yeah, that was a fun game. And one thing I noticed during the game, especially with our knowledge of bocce, you really have to coach your team. You have to tell
People,
them,
real quick, people are like, knowledge of bocce. You could be good at rolling and good at hitting a ball, but if you don't know how to call a game, strategy,
Sure,
doing a
just like
numbers
anything.
game. Sorry, continue on.
No, you're good. He's right. There's a
Whole different game.
lot of people see bocce, they think, oh, just throw the balls out, get it close. But it is a numbers game. You have to understand how many balls they've thrown, what situation you're in,
Their
if you want to shoot the
weaknesses, their
ball out.
strengths.
Right. So what he was able to do was control his team and just tell, like, coaching. I need you to hit the ball right here on this wall. Don't miss. Don't be short. And he was pretty stern with them, right? Yeah. Where my guys were more seasoned, so it's like I'll tell them what to do, but if they're comfortable, it is what it is. So watching him, I was like, maybe I should have been a little bit more
Of a dick.
aggressive.
And my team. I had a newer member come up to me after the championship. He was like, "Dude, he's like, I would never like. You made me so nervous." And his, but here's the thing: everyone on my team, they already know who I am, and they are just as competitive. Luckily, I drafted my team on super competitive people that just want to win. They might not be great, the best, but if you want to win and you can be coachable, that's one thing. Like they have trust me because I go all over the country to play.
Yeah.
You should trust me because I play more than everyone.
I play more than all of you.
Yeah, which
I
is
play
not-
better than all of you. Do you ever snap like that? Do you ever
No,
just
never,
because
never.
you're very humble kid.
Look at the fucking
You're
bronze
very-
medal.
you're
You
one-
have one.
No, seriously. Dante, you're one of the sweetest, nicest guys I know. But I would just love to see you fucking snap one time and go, fuck all of you. Do you know what I do?
You
Do
gotta
you know
stick
who
around.
I am? You gotta stick around.
I've seen
Chris
it.
has seen it.
It's happened to a member or two who just have set me over the edge.
I want you to do a Denzel on training day.
Okay.
Oh Lord! So I was gonna ask why, Chris, you're not on his team, but I think I'm kind of figuring.
No. One thing is, this is bocce is so big in Ohio. I'm more specifically Northeast Ohio, Cleveland, Youngstown.
From Cleveland,
We're
right?
from Youngstown, but it's just so big in that area, including West PA, that there's such a volume of really good players that not even many people know about the Nationals or they don't care too much about it because they have what we call the majors, which is there's one in Rome, New York, 6 hours away from Northeast Ohio, one in Cleveland called the Cleveland Challenge Cup, which gets 110 teams.
Wow.
The
From
one,
all over the country,
the one in
Canada.
Rome is that I just mentioned previously is called the World Series of Bocce
And where?
in Rome, New York. Excuse
Rome,
me,
New
yeah,
York.
Rome, New York. That's about
I want to take that trip.
And
I'm going to
then,
play bocce. Yeah.
and then there's two others as well. Another one in Cleveland and
One in Youngstown.
one in Youngstown, which is next weekend, which we could talk about later on. We're streaming it all. But that's what a lot of our area cares about, as opposed to so we play a lot of these. This was in Chicago. It's tough to go to all for 6 days.
Right.
You know.
So you guys are competitive.
Yeah.
Very.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you do have moments where you're on the same team and, and united.
Yeah.
And when you guys are united, are you a force?
I would say it's as
Yeah.
of recently we've definitely shown we've won a tournament or two in the past couple years.
So there are different positions in bocce especially when you start getting to these tournaments.
Different see now.
Yeah.
Now see you're educating me on a game that I've been playing for 20 years, and use different positions, different strategies. I'm like, I just roll the ball.
Yeah.
I'm that guy.
Right.
I draft guys that I like. Our team was drafted solely on the fact that everybody was from the Ohio Valley. That was it.
Love it.
Stupid
That
Al.
was it.
Al.
They were all,
Beauty.
yeah, that was it. That was it. Johnny DeAndre was the only one that was from the Ohio Valley, and that's because we had $10 left, and we need another person.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
But
Fill
to-
the team.
But yeah, you tell me all this stuff, and it's like, oh, now it's it's messing with my head.
Yeah. So tournaments, they play 4-man walk. So how we play at the Italian club, you have 2 men on each side, right?
Right.
So in tournaments, it's 4-man walk. Each person gets 1 ball. So it creates a little bit more team
All
unity.
4 of you are on the same
All
side,
4 of you are on the same
facing
side.
each other.
Oh.
So the first person's sole job is to just point, get close. And then you want to bring out the other team's hitter as quick as possible. That way, get them out the way. And it's just it's a whole other story.
That strategy you're
It's
talking
that
So
strategy,
you have
yeah.
your pointer that needs to be really good at rolling, right?
Yeah.
You have your first shooter that needs to be good at shooting the ball out. So those are 2 positions right there. Your second pointer is typically somebody that's what usually he plays. He could play all of them, but on our team he plays second pointer. So it's like a crafty person, someone that could shoot, but they understand how to use the walls, they understand the strategy, how to take touch off it, all of that.
Ooh, yeah.
That's what he's really good
It does
at.
sound like curling a little bit.
Oh,
The strategy
100%.
part.
Similar.
And
to
then
that, yeah.
and then your second shooter / third roller is pretty good at shooting, but also can roll.
Yeah, just whatever the situation calls.
So he's, like I said, on our team, he usually plays second roller. Can play them all, but if he and I are on, you're right, it's tough.
I've seen you guys. What do you like? you go to knock balls out. I mean, I've never played this way ever. I see you guys wind up and just
We got yelled at when we joined the
Hurl.
Italian club
and
7
hurl
years
it
ago.
to knock. I mean, just like bam. And sometimes it's dead on, and sometimes it's a big miss. But like, I've never played that way. I also I follow you guys on Instagram, and I saw today it was the which do you prefer, the underhand or the over?
Yeah.
So because some guys throw this way,
Mm-hmm.
and some guys throw. I throw under.
Yeah. What's the differences of it? Is that what you asked? So basically, if you're good and you can go the ball on top, hand on top of the ball, you're given that backspin where you're hoping when you hit, your ball sticks around and you get the point as well. But if it's tougher to do that, right? Yeah, it's tougher to do that.
Yeah.
Now, I will say it's easier to have the ball, your hand under the ball, like bowling wise, and it's for accuracy wise. To go that way, especially if you're a beginner or newbie.
But there's strategies with that too, Dino.
It's like a golf club.
Jesus Christ!
So let's say
You're ruining the game for me.
This is the only game you have left.
Don't worry about that.
So there's times where you do want to shoot over. That way your ball could stick around, right? If you want to shoot underhand, that allows your ball to continue to roll forward and maybe follow that ball. That way your ball goes to the back wall. Or maybe you want to hit Paulino and you don't want your ball to stick around. You want your ball to roll with the Paulino. You roll underhand. That way the rotation keeps
Is it
going.
Paulino or Paulina? I've heard both.
It goes by both.
I always said Paulina, female, growing up.
female, right.
However, as I dived more into the bocce community around the country, I was
They've
told
nailed-
Paulina
they've
they
nailed
mask.
it up.
Yeah, they
They
want
masked
to.
it-
However,
masked it up a little bit.
I like a female Paulina.
Who doesn't?
How you doing? Hey, how you doing?
And I did not know that until tonight that how intense you are, because that's the other thing that makes me laugh. There are certain people in the summer that I watch that I said, I don't want to be on that guy's team. He scares me.
Oh yeah.
And
But I'm very nice when you do get on my. Like I won't yell at you too hard.
no, there's other people. Like talking. I'm not naming names, but talking to them just outside of bocce, not a problem. During bocce,
bocce.
I won't be anywhere near him.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be on his team.
Are we talking about the other bocce bro, Anthony Cugini?
Yes. Yes. That guy. I wasn't going to drop names, but that guy is an amazing bocce player for one. Super nice guy. But when he's in the game,
Yeah.
He can't hide his emotions.
No, and I give him a wide berth. Like, if he's coming down this way to go, I'm like, I'm backing 6 feet away. I don't want to be anywhere near him.
So you call him Mad Cugini.
Mad Cugini. So I'm not. It's not just me.
No, it's the whole. Everyone.
And he knows it, right?
Everyone who watches across the country even knows that they know about his alter ego, Mad Cugini.
So it's not me.
No.
This
Used
is something that I stumbled upon.
No.
This is documented.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Correct. And
With all due respect, brother, you're a great bocce player and a nice guy. I'd love to get to know you better, but not when you're playing bocce.
now you said earlier, like now we have like this community around us. We have a team. Now the original 4 Bocce Bros are me, my brother Chris, and then Anthony Cugini, who's from Columbus, and our
Mad Cugini?
Mad Cugini,
Rick Eugenie.
yeah, and then Carmen Marinucci, who's from Youngstown as well, and a distant relative. All families from Italy, same town in Italy.
yeah.
But yeah, that's like our team, and then we have his father that comes along. But he's been playing with his grandfather, who just passed away recently, up until about 90s.
That's awesome.
90s, and his dad's actually off the boat Italian. And so him and his family have been playing for like 15, 20 years. And they yell at each other.
I know,
So
but-
he's used to that.
But just I love that. Just the fact that father, son, and grandfather.
And I think it was at the time they chat was both grandparents played.
That's amazing. That's
they
great.
win.
I mean, they won, but just that bonding right there.
Absolutely, and that's what bocce brings in a lot of areas, right?
It does. It bonds our club together in the summertime.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ball busting and a lot of.
You don't say.
Yeah, lots.
Just a little.
But it's fun. It's
Yeah.
fun. And that's I regret not playing last year. But I'm glad I played this year, and I'll play next year again.
We're doing it with our father, the Italian festival in Columbus, which is coming up in a couple weeks. It's
Yeah.
my the 4-person bocce tournament. It's me, Chris, our other brother Rob, and then
You have another brother?
Yeah, he's in the club as well. He isn't come around as
He has a
often.
couple kids, so
So
he's a little
he played
occupied.
summer bocce last year and won.
Familiar.
You weren't there last year. He
Wasn't
played
there last year? I didn't know there was another brother. I didn't know
Actually-
there was another brother.
So he played on Dante's team last year. They won summer, and then I needed a sub,
Back
so
to
he
back.
played. He played for my.
Who's counting?
Hold on.
Which Jonas brother that nobody can remember?
The older one.
That's how I feel about you guys.
Yeah.
Hey, but the older one's the smartest one though.
He is. Rob. He's awesome. But I needed a sub for the fall playoffs, so he played on my team, and we won fall bocce.
I like
So
Greg knows the Jonas brother trivia.
I went to the youngin for that one. How does bocce affect your relationships? Who's one of you? Are you married?
yes,
You're married.
yeah,
You're married.
yeah.
You have a girlfriend?
Yes.
Okay, so how does bocce and the traveling and the dedication to the game? Why are you pointing over to him?
He can start. I'm just saying he can start with this question.
How does it affect your relationships?
So when we started the Bocce Bros and we started playing, it was around COVID year, right? So there was nothing going on. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go play in this tournament. I'm gonna go play in that tournament. Like it was no biggie. Well, about a year after that, when things started getting back to normal, she came to me one day. She goes, all right, I've been the cool wife, been the cool girlfriend, but like you're gone a lot, right? And I tried initially like putting my foot down, but I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? I am gone. And there was a few weekends where I stayed in Columbus, finally got to see most of my friends. I'm like, oh, there's life outside of what we were doing, right?
Marriage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And hang out with my wife. So there was a conversation there, and now the Mad Cougini, he builds an Excel sheet every December.
He's our organizer.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. He does a lot of our logistical stuff for organizing and
We
stuff.
call him the auditor. So
He's got a lot of
he's got a lot of
nicknames.
nicknames.
When you have a lot of nicknames, you're fucking for real.
Yeah. He's like Ben Affleck. What was that movie? The Accountant.
Yes, exactly.
A good movie.
He's on the minus the murdering people, or maybe not.
True crime.
True crime. I told you it could go down that.
The Bocce Bandits.
Yeah. Just don't let me get on the investigation.
35 years later.
What happened to the auditor?
Anyway, continue.
But
Relationships.
so it's all about compromise. Looked at the tournaments ish.
Compromise.
What benefits me is my
Relationship
parents.
advice.
My parents will play, and a lot of the tournaments are in Youngstown.
They're just as obsessed as we are. Also, we can talk about that in a
yeah,
little
but so it's kind of a double whammy for me. Like I haven't seen my parents in a couple months. I'm gonna go up there. Yes, bocce's involved, but you know.
Yeah.
So,
But for the most part, she's cool.
absolutely,
Oh, yeah.
she's great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
she's
cool.
wonderful.
And what about
kids.
you? You're in a
Yes.
relationship.
So yeah, I'm in.
You have a girlfriend.
Yes, and
And how
we.
He gets to do whatever he wants.
No, so she is a freaking saint because I, not being married or having kids, I have a little more freedom. Luckily, she is from originally the Cleveland area, which is where a lot of the tournaments are. So
like 2 miles down the road.
literally, it's so close to everything.
See, 6 hours.
Yeah, so we get to go together. She doesn't come. She does not come watch the tournament. It's boring, and I love that. I don't blame her at all.
She doesn't come watch you?
She has before, no doubt.
Do you like that? Does it bother you?
No, I think.
Does it affect you?
No, I think separation. I don't care if she's there. I don't care if she's not. I think it's fine.
Very nice of you to say.
I'm in the zone, and she knows that too. I'm in the zone.
It's
I'm,
like the boxing thing,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
but
No, we can't do anything. I got a tournament coming up. I'm sorry.
the first, yeah.
I need all the testosterone.
Not tonight, babe.
I need all the the test I can get. After though, look out. What's her name?
Gabrielle.
Gabrielle.
Gabby.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And your wife's name?
Marta.
Sorry. I apologize for everybody.
Oh man. But first 2 years I traveled hard. Now it's like okay, I like what he said. I miss like certain things I used to. I don't stay at my house anymore. I'm always traveling. It's not fun when you're gone 4 weekends in a row.
No, you're busy. You're busy. And you have a job.
Yeah, it's taxing. It's We all have jobs. That's the tough part. We wish we did this full time.
That's how like how often you travel. like pretty much every weekend,
You could.
But that's like the dream, right? Could it be professional bocce players and get paid? Does anybody do that for a living?
I think
Does anybody play bocce for a living?
Not in America. In Italy, yes. In other European countries, yes. There's sponsored players from like companies, and they play like on. I won't call it television, but there's a popular live streaming like on YouTube. But they get paid, and they have sponsors on their jerseys there twice a week. It's coming to America, I think, some point. Now,
So if you look at
professional cornhole, why don't they have?
Yeah, I mean, how is bocce not on ESPN if cornhole is? I saw people bagging groceries on ESPN. There was
Stone
a grocery
skipping?
bagging competition on ESPN. You tell me that bocce can't get on there?
I can't believe David lost in that, by the way.
I know, I watched
He got
it too.
screwed.
Like,
But that's
man, he put
something
the
that-
eggs on the bottom. He's fucked. He's fucked.
that's something that we feel like we have an opportunity to capitalize on,
I think so.
especially
Sitting pretty, absolutely.
because he mentioned PA, Youngstown, Cleveland. Everybody that comes here from out of state, out of the country, they go, those three areas are the mecca of bocce. So we have a really good hold on that. We just need to figure out how to turn it
Volume
into
of talent.
some organization that like cornhole.
Yeah.
Is there any bocce west of the Mississippi?
Yeah.
There is. Okay.
Yeah.
But not as
Cali has
huge.
It's
on the
big
East
now. I'll make this explanation as short as possible. In Northeast Ohio, our little area, we play a little more recluse bocce. It's a slightly different variant where remember the old rules of the Italian club. You had to hit a ball before it hit the back wall.
Right.
That's called open bocce. That's how the West Coast plays. The USBF plays. It's a little more. A little less sloppy. But in where we play, you can miss it now, like how it is now at the CIC. You can miss it, can hit the back wall, and everything's in play.
Hard.
And people, we hear my issue. We see it all the time online. People in West Coast who don't travel to play or at all or anything, like that's not bocce. There's no strategy in it. But there's so much strategy on knowing the back wall, knowing it's so much. But now people who travel understand it. People who don't, and it is what it is. That's the quickest explanation I get.
How old were you when you started playing bocce?
We had a bocce court growing up in our backyard.
Yeah. So how old?
So 5.
5?
My grandpa helped my dad build.
That's when you rolled your first ball?
Yeah.
What about you?
I had to be similar in the backyard, but we also had my grandparents helped build a club in Youngstown with 2 bocce courts, Pageantron.
And when you were growing up as kids, did you want to do what he did?
Oh, yeah, all the time, for
Did you
everything,
look
yeah.
up to your big brother?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You still look up to your big brother?
Not anymore.
I look up to him.
Both my big brothers, both of them.
So who's and Rob?
Rob, yeah.
Rob, the other Jonas brother?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Rob. Is he the oldest?
Yes,
He's the oldest. Okay, so he was first.
he's first. Yeah.
He was. Does he? So what's he do?
6 years, Jesus. He's
So-
10 years older than you?
He's 10 years
Yeah,
older than me.
right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, 10, 10
Parents
6,
were
yeah.
busy.
Yeah. So he had 2 kids recently within the last 7 years. So he has a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old. He's an AVP for Bath and Body Works.
Okay.
Does very well.
He
Very
smells
busy.
good all the time.
All the good, man.
Gets us all the candles.
He's-
Holiday
he's-
candle season's coming up.
He is lotioned up.
Absolutely.
You guys are hooked up.
Yeah.
No ashing in that house.
But he plays with us when he can.
He-
not as often.
You know that Rob's playing bocce because you smell pomegranate.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Last year I couldn't make the festival in Columbus, and the Bocce Bros played, and Bobby was the 5th man to come in and play for me. They ended up winning. So Rob, he doesn't play as much, but he still got
But
it.
he steps up.
Still
He steps
got
up.
it.
As an older brother should.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, if you need me, I'm there.
Yeah. And you asked, like, are we competitive?
Yes.
Our whole family is, but, like, it stems from I would have to say, mainly from on my father's side, his dad, my grandpa, who is 87, 89 in that area, still plays PlayStation 5. He switches between Xbox and PlayStation.
Nice, okay.
But he would come over in the mornings, when I'm, in the summer. He's playing me in Xbox and Madden, and he's not taking it lightly.
He's talking shit the whole time.
Yeah. He's like,
Yeah.
come on, boy. Like, we play, and he doesn't, like, in video games, you play short games, like realistic 20-minute games. He likes the whole 15-minute quarters in football. He doesn't like skipping a replay. He doesn't like skipping
You're in for the whole ride.
I'm in for a 4-hour game. The score is 89-82.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
I mean, because I mean that probably, my mother is just turned 87.
God bless.
I think.
I don't know, you're looking at me, but yeah.
She doesn't do video games, but she does puzzles. So I'm as far as keeping his mind sharp. I mean
absolutely.
that's got to be
She
a
watches
great.
football.
That's got a great. Yeah, she loves my mother. My mother. What's up, Ma? They took off my ESPN. Really? Yes. I don't understand. I don't know when it's going to come back on. Well, Ma, it's not just you. What do you mean? No, it's nationwide, Ma. ESPN is off nationwide. It is? I just thought it was a problem with my cable. I don't know. It's everybody. It's everybody. So she loves college football.
I love that.
My mother loves college football. She loves pro football. She watches football all the time. We actually talk about football.
That's hilarious.
Wow.
Great.
My 87-year-old
That's
mother.
amazing.
Yeah, she. I don't. And growing up, no interest in football whatsoever.
So she just picked it up later
She
in life.
picked it up like in her 80s.
That's amazing.
Yeah, where she just watches it. I spent the whole day watching football.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
That is.
Does she have a favorite player?
She likes the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. She was actually
lives down there.
She was actually she lives in Tampa. She was actually on the podcast.
I have to listen to that one.
About 4 years ago?
Yeah, 4 years ago.
It was a minute ago.
4 years ago. Yeah.
Were you here, John? Was John even here? Yeah. That's
Oh no,
right.
it was because
right,
it's on
yeah,
video,
yeah,
and it is probably one of my most treasured.
That's awesome.
Podcasts because
As you should. As you
because-
should.
because now I have this document, and it was funny when I look back and watch it because my mother lies. She lies. My mother and my sister were visiting. My sister was back on that couch, and my mother would answer a question. My sister would go,
Hey, it's got to get the views. Whatever gets the views. Do you know? Come on.
No, but she's
That's special.
She's great. Yeah. So I think that's awesome that your grandfather
Yep.
is able to,
Eat
I
bowls.
can't play a video games miss me completely.
Yeah.
I was Pong, Pac-Man, and
Man,
that's
go
it.
way back.
Yeah, it
I love
stopped
Pac-Man.
after that.
Yeah.
And now Bocce.
And now, but now after hearing all this,
Yeah, we kind of steered you away.
yeah, I just don't want to be on Mad Dog's team.
Yeah, Mad Dog.
If I were to not be I would probably next year I'm going to be a captain again, just so I
Make
know.
sure.
Make sure.
Smart.
No, he's great. He's great. There's a lot of fun, great players at the club. I love the club. The sibling rivalry is it in just bocce or is it in life in general?
Anything. Tying shoes, fastest
Yeah.
to get in the car.
Speaking of Bocce, though, we didn't talk about the king of the court. Because
Oh,
he got
Oh,
his.
that's right. I forgot about the king of the court. Thank you.
Yeah, he got his flowers.
Let's cut
here.
the commercial, huh?
The king of the court. Explain that.
So 2 years ago, we
This was a great idea, by the way.
Yeah.
I love the idea. I actually thought about entering it.
You should.
You should.
Yeah.
We still this year. We start in a couple weeks.
Yeah, still
Sign up.
time.
Dante could coach. We'll coach you.
Yeah.
I'm not coachable. I am not coachable.
So
Ask Hansberry. He's worked with me in radio for how many years? He has to tell me when
I
to
just
get.
given up.
Yeah.
just let it
Not
ride.
coachable.
I have his email password tattooed on my arm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
But thank you. I appreciate that. But no, I actually every once in a while I think about King of the Court. Maybe some fluke in the universe. Maybe some portal in the universe will open up.
More more people I've never seen at the club. This is Greg Battisti's a good. Have you even heard that name, Greg Battisti?
I think so.
Yeah, he doesn't come to the club at all, rightfully so, because he has several kids. He coaches all of them, except for the King of the Court. I've been a member 7, going on 8 years, and I've not seen or heard of him once until King of the Court pops up. And there's just members like that who are just interested, not in the team play, but this is just like a couple weeks long.
So what's the king of the court?
Yeah, explain that.
What is the
So
king
it's
of
a
the court?
singles tournament. I don't know who started it. It was one of us, Dante, Mad Cooge. The Mad Cooge, he organizes all of it, as we alluded to earlier. But it's a singles tournament. So everybody signs up, play one-on-one throughout the bracket.
Double elimination.
Play to a
Who's the
certain
king?
amount.
Yeah, who's the best one-on-one player?
All right.
And then at the end, you get crowned king of the court. I've been lucky the last 2 years. I'm the two-year reigning champ right now.
Two.
Right, go to 3.
Oh, that's
Going on
got to.
3.
That's got to.
I think. Well, he beat. Did you beat Anthony
a little
Gugini?
Yeah,
And-
you beat Mad Dog
in the
Beat Mad
championship the
Dog.
first
Oh,
year, and then he
dear
beat me in the championship the second year.
Yeah. Does it eat at you?
Oh,
Does
of
it
course.
bother
You know I want it. Yeah, you
want
don't
it?
want
You
that
want
one.
it bad?
Yeah.
You
I'll
get
say
it?
this: it's, and you might not feel this way. After I beat him, I feel like horrible.
Really?
Because
Oh yeah, Oh,
Really?
after. Oh no, yeah.
You know how much like
We both know how much we want to win, and also, 100%. Yeah, especially like I felt the same way in the summer.
You
Championship,
felt when you beat him in the finals. You
Yeah.
felt bad. You felt bad.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
They really love each other.
I mean, yeah, there's
after
that
all,
competitiveness.
just for one second.
During it, not at all. But
Yeah.
after you turn, shake hands, like, oh shit, you know.
Did you raise the Sagamore Cup?
Oh, of course we did. Yeah, this is
that was something I installed. That was in my presidency.
Now, talk about what the Sands, because I wasn't aware of this
Okay.
until
Yeah,
like
go
2
into
years
that.
ago what the name even meant.
Okay, at the time when I instituted the Sands, I did it in my presidency. I wanted something significant to acknowledge the bocce champion. At the time, Billy DeMora, now Senator DeMora, and Roger Sanzo. Sorry,
I laughed out loud of that. I'm sorry.
which one? Roger Sanzo?
No, Senator.
It's just strange.
Only because we just had him on.
At the time, Billy DeMora was just on.
Yeah,
Just
yep.
on.
Oh, yeah.
At the time, Billy ran bocce, and Roger, still to this day, is one of the most dedicated bocce people out there. He'll come out there and do whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So those two, and that particular reign during the club, were the bocce guys. So I combined the two names, the Sagamore Cup,
That's amazing.
to represent all the work and dedication that they had to bocce over the years. And I went and I got some loving cup at some trophy shop, and I made it big enough. I said my thought was to put the little things on it, and then much like the Stanley Cup, we would just add a base to it. And make it get
We're
bigger
almost
and bigger.
there. We're almost there to adding a base. I think 2 more years.
And I said that what we'll do is we'll fill it up because it's a stainless steel cup. Fill it up with ice and put a bottle of Sambuca in the middle of it to celebrate the win. That's still happening, right?
It sure does. No doubt.
No, seriously, don't. Is there a bottle?
Yeah.
as soon as he won, he goes, "Bring out the Sambu."
Okay,
Yeah.
the Sambuca goes in the cup, and the winning team gets the.
And I took the first swig of it
Yeah.
right out the bottle.
See that makes me happy.
Yeah. That's still tradition.
That's
It's still
legacy.
That's still
That's
going
great.
on.
Yeah, 100%. I will say 1 year, I think it might have been last year, the year before, it wasn't stocked. Sambuca wasn't stocked. But they made I think a really good replacement with Crown Royal. So
I really don't care what liquors. As long as there's, it could be a bottle of champagne, it could be Ripple, it could be Mad Dog 2020. I don't care. As long as there's some bottle in ice sticking out of it, and there's celebration involved.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that it still holds.
Without a doubt.
That everybody still wants the Sagamore Cup, and probably guys now like. Why is it called the Sagamore?
everyone
Cup?
wants the name on that trophy, no doubt.
Everybody, but some people probably don't. Even
Oh
know
no!
what it means.
I had no idea. I didn't even think about it until a couple years ago. I'm like, wait a minute, what's that even? And then Panico explained it.
Yeah, and Roger Sanzo. So talk about a humble guy. He'll never take credit for it. But he well, you know what? Then again, he might forget. He might have forgotten. He might have forgotten.
That's
Like,
more.
hey, my name's on this thing.
That's way more.
Oh, you know, what is this doing here?
He may have no idea. He may have no idea that it's partially named for him.
Art Petrangelo does an amazing Roger Sanzo
I need to
impersonation.
see that.
Please, yeah.
I need to see that.
One thing we've mentioned, because you mentioned, there's people that might not know about that. Like, why is it named after that? We talked about doing a bocce banquet after the summer
gala
is over. So, like, the following Monday, everybody comes back. We'll do, like, a little award show, have dinner, hang out.
So you do like after bowling leagues, you typically do that.
Sure.
Give
Yeah.
out awards and stuff.
So we'll have to do that this year.
No, I think those are all great ideas.
Yeah.
Anything that just pushes the kinship and
It's called a social club.
and the brotherhood
for a
together.
reason.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's good.
100%.
As we roll the bollies, I've heard that expression. Go roll your bollies.
Now I mentioned my grandfather, but my parents obviously are in the area, Youngstown, but they play and they love the game. I think just as much as us. Maybe more. Yeah. They always come to watch our tournaments if they can, but more so they play in mixed leagues. My dad plays in a men's league as well, so he's there at the bocce club twice a week.
3, because he plays Tuesday nights. They do an
Tuesday
old
mornings.
Man.
Tuesday mornings.
They do an old
Tuesday
man.
morning.
I got a good story about Tuesday morning bocce.
yeah.
We'll get into that, but They love it. They talk about it.
No, they talk about it all the time. I mean, MVR. So the MVR Mahoning Valley Restaurant in Youngstown.
What happened? Is that trip still happening?
It didn't happen because of COVID, but Ron Roberts and I have talked, and I know he wants to get it up and running. I actually called him a month ago. We're gonna do it. I think we're gonna try to bring it back, but tailor it because there's new bocce clubs up there that are pretty freaking state of the
So
art.
not at the MVR?
Yeah, MVR
I'll be
still,
at the MVR.
but it'll be one of the days will be somewhere else.
Oh, like a whole weekend.
Yeah, Friday, Saturday type
Oh,
deal. Yeah.
okay.
And people can still come. I think the Saturday will still be the main event, but if people want to come Friday, there'll be something extra.
Those some of those trips were legendary. When we had
This is hilarious. I got. I'm from Youngstown. I moved to Columbus, and I'm hearing there's a trip to Youngstown. I'm like, what the hell are these guys taking a trip to Youngstown for? Let me see what it's all about. They say they go to they go to the MVR, which I'm very familiar with. So we get up at like 8 a.m. We drive to Larisha's Deli Market, which is right by the Southern Park Mall for our Youngstown listeners. And it's 10 a.m. and there's 18 cars from the Columbus Italian Club piled up eating a sandwich and tailgating with their coolers. Like there's a college football game going on. They are tailgating for no reason but to just tailgate, and then we leave Larisha's and go to a mall in Boardman, or excuse me, a hotel in Boardman, swim, drink it there, and then we just go to the MVR and eat a 13-course meal, I may add, and play bocce.
Nothing but great memories of those trips. We consumed.
Let's go back. Let's make it. Let's go back this year.
We consumed. We would kill 1 or 2/5 of whiskey
For $20 probably.
on the way up.
Youngstown.
On the way
On the way up to Youngstown. This is me, Deli, Jamie, Sanfilippo,
I feel like I heard these stories.
and Chris Beardman. And yeah, it would be punishing. And
And what time was this?
this is when we on the morning of.
Yeah,
The
'cause
morning, driving up to Youngstown.
You
We
guys
would have
stop
bike-
and get donuts.
We stop and get
wanted it,
donuts
yeah.
first at the what do you call it, the Amish place.
Yeah.
Dear
Yes,
Dutchman,
yeah. I heard that's like a tradition you guys do.
Donuts at Dear Dutchman.
Gotta get
and
some
then
fry
stop
pies,
at
man.
Larisha's. Stop at Larisha's, and then we would have 1 to 2/5 consumed between the four of us by the time we got to Larisha's. All right, and then
Of course, you had a designated driver, right? Who was not?
me,
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
usually me,
Designated.
yeah, usually me. 1 year it was Beardman. 1 year it was Beardman.
Yeah.
Never Deli.
Smart.
Never Deli. And we would do that, and then there's 2 moments that were memorable on those trips. One was when Jim Tressel was coaching Ohio State football, and I had a good relationship with Coach Tressel, and I had seen him like the week before. I was going up to Youngstown, and I said, "I'm going up to your old stomping grounds," and we were at dinner at the MBR, and those dinners are just massive already.
Oh yeah.
But then there was like this extra dish that came out, and the waitress brought it out, and she goes, "Who's Dino?"
Oh god.
Who's Dino? And I go, I'm Dino. She goes, "This is from Coach Tressel."
Wow.
Coach Tressel had like added on another,
That's awesome.
and said, "Have fun."
Do you remember what it was?
No.
Spicy is it spicy something?
I don't remember
I think
what
it-
it was, but it was just like, and everybody's looking at me like, ooh.
What's the name of this restaurant?
Is it like a
The
Buca de
MVR.
Beppo type of a deal?
Mahoning Valley Restaurant.
Buca de Beppo is like what I'm trying to think of. Like
It's
family style.
It's got great
I
bocce
wouldn't-
chords. It's
Yeah, for that night they do Buca de Beppo style, but typically not. Just for us, they do that style. But the MVR is short for Mahoning Valley Restaurant.
Right.
Right. Okay.
It
Been
opened
around.
it was the first bar in Ohio, I think, to have a liquor license in 1927. Carmen Cassis. So I got to do
Right.
a little plug here.
yeah.
So Carmen Cassis opened the restaurant, passed it down to family members. So Joe Cassis, his son, right?
So, yeah.
Continued on his tradition, and they recently one of Carmen's visions was to make it kind of like a bocce mecca. So last year they had a huge renovation, which Jim
his
Tressel donated to, and so instead of 3 or 4,
What a great guy.
absolutely,
I heard. Jim Tressel was leaving Youngstown State,
Right.
but I think he made a nice donation right before he left.
before he
Yeah, like,
bounced.
hey,
Yeah.
let me
Yeah.
write
Also-
something off real
Well,
quick.
the restaurant's right by YSU.
It's
I
the
mean,
heart
so
of
many
it,
Yeah.
campus kids use the restaurant or go there. But they have Carmen passed away unfortunately 11 years ago due to pancreatic cancer, I believe. So they've had a tournament in his honor, and this tournament has grown so much that we now call it a major. So this year they're going to have over 100 teams there. A lot of it's donated to the foundation.
That's awesome.
We're going to be there. We're teaming up with the MVR. If you go to the Bocce Bros YouTube channel next week, Wednesday through Sunday, we're going to be streaming all 6 courts there
Next week?
next week.
Okay, because this podcast is going to drop on Monday or Tuesday next
perfect.
week, so perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
say the dates out loud.
Ooh.
It'll be September 20th through
24th.
24th.
Yeah.
23rd.
So we'll be streaming Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday morning, all day Saturday, and all day Sunday.
What's the web address? What's the web address?
Oh, the Bocce Bros on the go to YouTube and type in the Bocce
or
Bros. You'll see it.
thebocceBros.com.
Yeah, you'll see it there. We're plugging it everywhere. But we'll be one of the first to actually. So people are hungry for streaming, like in the bocce community, and people who like bocce. And they, typically you can only do like one court at a time. But now we're trying something a little more, trying to extend it off to something new. Every court you want to watch, you can watch it at home.
You go, boys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do it.
And talk more about that, because you guys like call the games, or like I've never seen this before. What does one what could one expect?
So with how many courts there are, there's going to be one specific court. We call it our main court that we're going to have multiple cameras on, and we're going to have our mics attached to that one
center
court.
court.
Absolutely.
Yeah, center court, the live commentary and all.
Yeah, we do our best Dino impression on the mic, commentating games, getting other people, whether it's the owner of the restaurant, friends, they come on. We have 4 mics. It's like you'd be watching a sporting event.
Right.
So yeah,
It's like the Marino, or not the fucking Marinos, the Manning brothers.
The Manning brothers.
Yeah, the Manning cast.
Yeah,
Manning
Manning
cast.
cast.
yeah.
Manning cast. The other courts will not have commentary, but there'll be live updated scores. You'll know who's winning. You'll know who's playing. So there's
How many people are in your crew for this? It sounds like a.
it's not many. So there's only 4 in the LLC, which is me, Chris, Anthony Mad, Cugini, and then Carmen Marinucci. We do have people who play
guys-
extended, but it's just us 4.
I know. You guys do amazing stuff with just the 4 of you, and it continues to grow and prosper. The other story I'll share with you in respects to that trip to Youngstown was after consuming 2/5 of whiskey. This is before bocce that night. We all jumped in the pool, and there weren't enough towels up in the room. And so I had one. I had imbibed a bit much, but I said, I'll go get towels.
Yeah.
And I went down to the front desk in just a towel. Wrapped around me, carefully wrapped around me. All right. And I asked for more towels, which the front desk person graciously went and got me more towels. There were also chocolates on the front desk. And I go, are these for anybody? She goes, yes, by all means, have some chocolates. So I took a handful of chocolates. And then I saw the vending machine, and I thought, I like sweet and I like salty. So I wanted to get some potato chips as well with the chocolates.
Yeah, rational.
Okay. While I was
I see where this is going.
Where'd you have the chain?
Exactly. Exactly. Because what I had done was I had taken a couple dollar bills with me
He knew.
to tip the person for the towels. Okay, so I had a couple dollars.
So a couple crunched up, crinkly
Yeah, I
dollar
had-
bills
I had
next to the
like
towel. Yeah.
5 and 1s. I had 5 and 1s. If somebody's going to give me towels, I'm going to give them a little tip. That's
nice.
just the right thing. Give them 2, 3. So I had $2 left, and I'm putting $2 or whatever into the vending machine. While I'm putting in to get my chips, there's a family that comes in. The family that comes in through the side door, a mother, a father, and 3 kids. I'm at the vending machine, and I'm punching in for the potato chips. While I'm punching in for the potato chips, the towel comes loose and drops. And I am right there in the hallway, completely butt naked. The family stops. The family stops. And I turn around. And you turn around.
Turn away.
I turn around. And I'm not kidding you. I turn around. I go, chocolates.
So that's why you haven't been back to Youngstown.
I put the towel back around me. I go back up to the room and go, we're getting kicked out.
Let's go.
we're going to be asked to leave. I go, what happened? And I tell the whole story. They go, are you fucking kidding me?
Youngstown will bring out those stories.
Yeah.
It'll bring out those stories.
Good times.
That I said, earlier, our dad plays or my mom plays, and that Tuesday morning story. So it's the old timers Tuesday morning. They go play 9 a.m. My dad calls me at 11 a.m. I'm at work. I'm like, what's going on? He usually doesn't call me during the day. He's like, I just had an interesting story that I'd share it with you. It's 8:30 in the morning. I'm tying my shoes. He has a minivan, so he has the door slid open in the back, and he's tying his shoes. And it's at this bar called St. Anthony's in Youngstown. It's a bocce club and bar. And it's gravel parking lot, and he hears his car zooming in. He's at 70 miles per hour, slams the brakes, all the rocks go flying. He slams right behind his car, And my dad looks back. He's like, what's going on? This guy has his arm up on the window rolled down. He's like, you tell Jimmy the cook there's a storm coming. Pulls his arm out of the car. 3 bullets in the car next to my dad's car.
Are you shitting me?
And then drives off.
What?
Welcome to Youngstown. Yeah. And the best part is like, did you go in and play bocce? He's like, yeah. What was I gonna do? Wow. I said, don't give the police anything and continue playing bocce.
I ain't seen nothing.
Tell Jimmy the cook. Tell Jimmy the cook though to work somewhere else.
The 3 bullet holes in the car is a great way to end the podcast.
I think so.
Awesome.
I think so.
Thank you, boys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I look forward to being a guest on the Bocce Bros podcast
soon.
We're gonna do that.
Yep.
I'll let you ask me questions. Chip, thank you so much for the Sagamore.
It's gone.
It's gone, baby.
It did not last long.
It did not last long at all. But thank you so much. This is a great little bottle. If you like rye, like I said, this is a blended rye with a high and a low. It's not going to hurt you proof-wise. It's only 83 proof. It's smooth. It's aged.
It's
both ryes are aged
sweet.
between 4 and 6 years
but
of age.
rye enough.
Yeah, rye
it had
enough,
a nice
man.
hug
No,
to it.
it's a
good
jet-
hug to it.
What's that?
It had a nice hug to it.
It's really good.
Yeah, it was a nice, gentle pour if you're looking for...
If it's 65 degrees out on a fall day, this is the rye.
this
for you.
is the one to go.
My thoughts
So
exactly.
thank you, Chip. Very
Oh,
kind
you're
of you to
welcome.
bring that along this evening as our guest bottle, which I think puts us at... I think we're one away from... Oh, let me check.
Is it 240?
I write them all. I wrote
That's
them all
crazy.
down. We are one away from 230 bottles of whiskey.
Wow. 229.
Our next podcast will be our 230th bottle on Whiskey Business. We've never repeated a bottle
Yeah.
on this show.
Yeah,
How do you
I
go
can
about-
tell.
Yeah.
Look at the bottles around here.
So how do you plan those out?
We don't.
Yeah, just like I need to find something.
It's one of those, like, I can't remember what I had for lunch yesterday,
Yeah.
but I can remember that. Oh no, we've had that.
Yeah.
We've had that.
Yeah.
On the podcast.
Remember who
We've
the
had-
guest was.
Yeah. I can remember who the. I can remember that we've had that bottle.
Sometimes we try to loosely theme them.
Yeah.
Sometimes, every once in a while.
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
Good time.
Good
time.
Upcoming
whiskey.
here on Whiskey Business, Hansberry, we're doing a Halloween show this year.
Check social media. Right now, tentatively live October 5th.
Yay.
Right?
The Thursday, I believe.
Hold on, shit. I was just say that. Edit this out, Johnny.
I don't.
October
shit, what
5th
are you
is a
talking about?
Thursday. Yeah.
Early.
Yeah, live October 5th at the Jury Room,
Ooh,
which
is
is the
supposedly
world's
haunted.
hauntedest bar of all time.
I don't like that. I don't do haunted.
You're doing a podcast there?
We're gonna do a live
Yeah,
podcast that night. We've teamed up with our buddy Jesse Hubbard. He'll have some cocktail.
And tickets will be on sale for that.
Yeah, just check our website for details and social media. But
Do you dress up for that?
Hansberry
You
loves
should dress
Halloween.
up as a vampire.
Hansberry-
You'd be hilarious.
Hansberry
Vampire
is-
makeup on.
He wants me to dress up every year. I never do. But he's a Halloween freak. He's calling himself a Halloween influencer.
As you should.
He starts like in July. I'm not shitting you.
I love it.
It's annoying
I
as
mean, look at his fingernails; they're black already.
Yeah.
smart.
I don't
ahead
know
of
what
it.
that's all about.
Got to get ahead of it.
you know,
No, I still don't know what it's all about. No, it's got nothing to do with it. He used to pawn that off on his daughter. but
yeah,
now-
I was like, oh no, my daughter didn't know.
my
I do
daughter-
know.
Yeah, no,
Just see what color his toes are.
I don't know. There will never be a reason while I would purposely look at hands.
He has an
first.
OnlyFans for his painted toenails.
just my toes.
And if that ever does happen, that'll be a podcast.
Yes, please check social media because we're just it's right around the corner, but
is.
we're just figuring out the details. Whiskey Business is your podcast, not so much about whiskey as it is one with whiskey business with whiskey. What?
Go ahead. I mean, go. I was just gonna plug another podcast.
Yeah. All your favorite stuff on your favorite podcasting app. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Go ahead and rate and review us. We don't have anything funny to say there.
Sound effect for that.
No sound effect for that.
Also, YouTube Whiskey Business. Go ahead.
Real quick. No. If you got more.
No, I was gonna hit up these guys.
No, I'm gonna let me. We'll close with them.
All right.
I also want to mention that coming up in October. Actually, we'll tape it here late in September. October is Down Syndrome Awareness Month, and Carrie Jones will be joining us from
DeSaco?
From DeSaco.
Nice lady.
Very nice lady, along with a good friend of ours, Mike Messina. Johnny, you remember Mike Messina
I remember him well. He's fantastic.
When we
He's
did
great.
the Down Syndrome series.
Yep.
We did a series of videos for Down Syndrome. They will be on, talk about a very special night that'll be taking place. I always say, is it Fado or Fado? How do you say?
Fido.
Fido?
Fidos. I hear Fidos.
I hear Fidos. There's a very special whiskey release that is going to be dedicated to Down syndrome that people will be able to get on October the 11th out at
But we'll get a bottle before that.
Fidos, Clyde Mays Whiskey. So that's going to be a very special podcast. I'm looking forward to having Carrie on and looking forward to seeing Mike again, too.
Yeah, he's fun.
Because he's great. So that's a kind of a special podcast there.
Awesome.
We're also working on getting the doc from Kosai.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
We were buddies with him for a minute ago.
Yeah. So, not that we have not thoroughly enjoyed the Bocce Bros. Completely. And the pizza from Gatto's. Yeah. This has been great. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you.
tonight.
We
I really
appreciate
appreciate it. One more time, give everybody your information.
Yeah, the Bocce Bros. TheBocceBros.com. The Bocce Bros on Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, you name it, the Bocce Bros. Check us out. We're going to be live streaming all week next week, Wednesday through Sunday. YouTube.com, the Bocce Bros, the major in Youngstown, Ohio, Mahoning Valley Restaurant. It's not so much the podcast about bocce. It is that is with bocce.
There you go.
But hey, thank you guys.
Imitation is a sincere form of flattery.
It sure is. We appreciate you guys.
All right, my name's Dino Tripodis. Until the next bottle, see ya.
Salud.
All right.